This week we're going to be working in the systems room. The systems room is everything that's underneath the cockpit. It's a watertight space from the rest of the boat. It used to have stuff like steering and plumbing in it. We've taken everything out. What we're going to be putting into it is like a generator, water maker, water heater, heating system, steering, all kinds of stuff. It's really cool because it's all outside of the living space of the boat. It's a huge space to install plenty of systems and have lots of room to work down there. I think it's a really, really cool space, but we have to paint it. And before we paint it, there's a few projects that need to be done inside there to get it ready for painting, including I'm going to be building a line locker or line well. And for those of you that have been missing the fiberglass work, we're going to be doing some laminating, some vacuum bagging. I'm going to show you a really cool way to build, find the shape of a bulkhead. It's a fun week of projects. My name is Matt. Follow along as I turn Duracell, the legendary ocean racing sailboat, into a comfortable cruising home. The main halyard will come down the side deck right here, go around a winch, and then there will be like 200 feet, well, it'll be like 150 feet of line in the cockpit when the main halyard is raised, when the mainsail is raised. Which is a lot of line to stow in just the cockpit floating around and stuff. So what we did is we built a line locker, and it is basically just a well that will throw the halyard down into, and it will clear the deck of all of that rope line. I just have the well made. There's just this hole in the deck right here. What I need to do now is build a compartment underneath the deck in the systems area that will contain the line and drain any water that gets inside that line locker. This is the systems room. This is where I'll be building the line locker. The hole is right here. The line locker will be about the size of like a 40-gallon garbage can. I'm considering reusing this platform that's right here. As long as we can make this space will be big enough.
What's the first step?
I don't actually know what the first step is yet. I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure out how big the space is, and I don't know what it is yet.
Have fun.
Yeah, thanks. I needed to clear the space first, which meant cutting out this old platform that was laminated onto the bulkhead. There was a starting battery and a lot of rat poop on this platform when I got the boat. I considered using this platform as the bottom of the line well, but there wouldn't be enough space for the roughly 150 feet of halyard that will get dumped into the well. It has to extend all the way down to the stringer. I'm about to drop the basically bulkhead that's going to make the line locker. So the line locker is going to go all the way down to the stringer here. And I'm going to use, instead of templating it with door skin, I'm going to use a tick stick. I haven't done this in a while. I'm just doing the tick stick. It's fun. There's a kind of a bit of setup to do. This edge of the board is the line that is the edge of the bulkhead that I'm going to be making. And so my tick stick is just, I'm going to use just a yardstick here, and I put the corner of the tick stick on the mark on the hull. So I've marked the hull already with lines where I want the bulkhead to end up. So I put the corner of this tick stick on the mark. That's the top mark of the bulkhead, the topmost mark. Take my pencil, so it's the bottom corner of my tick stick, and so I'm just gonna make a line, and I'm gonna mark the end of the ruler, and I'm gonna write 36 because that's how many inches it is from the mark on the hole to the end of the yardstick. So that's 36 inches, and so that's my first tick. Number 1, 36 inches. And then I'll come down the hole a little ways. Come down maybe 6 inches. This isn't a huge bulkhead, so I can make marks more often. This time, instead of marking 36, I'm going to take the 30-inch mark and write number 2. 30 inches. Come down another little ways to my next mark on the hole. It doesn't matter where on the board I make the mark. What I'm going for is having the longer the line, the tracing line, the better. And again, I'll mark my tick here. So that's number 3, 30 inches. And I'm still using the bottom corner of the tick stick. Come down to my next mark on the hole. Mark the 24-inch one on this one. Number 4. So now I have to reverse my stick. Use the top corner, which reverses the numbers. You have to make sure to use the opposite side of the stick here. And I know it's the opposite side because I have the mark on the opposite side of the line, the tick on the opposite side of the line. This one is the very bottom corner. I'm gonna do both sides. Cool. And then the last thing, I'm gonna mark the height. So the top of my stick is at the top of the bulkhead, and I'm going to mark my tick stick. Let's see. And I'm gonna mark that as the side. Okay. So there's my tick stick. It's a bunch of lines, very pretty, and we'll take this to the garage and make a bulkhead.
I took the tick board to the garage and clamped the inboard edge of the board to what will become the inboard edge of the bulkhead. Again, I'm going to use a 1/2 inch Edura panel, another perfect application for this line well. To find the shape of the bulkhead, I reverse the process from the boat. I use the ruler to measure out from the traced lines to make marks on the panel. Once all the marks are made, I used a wooden batten and lead weights to draw the curve on the panel, and then I used a jigsaw to cut it out.
I've got the sides of the locker built down under the cockpit, and so we're going to test it out, see how easy it is to feed line down into my locker. I've got this is 180 feet of rope that was donated to us by Peter, who was of gunboats. On one of his old boats, the lines were the wrong size, and so he figured I might be able to use them, and this one will work perfectly for our mainsail. It's exactly the right length. We're gonna test it out, see how well it stacks up in my line locker. We're gonna go down and see how it's stacked up inside the locker. I haven't glued it together yet because I want to make sure that, you know, it looks good in there, that there's plenty of space for it. If I have to change something, I can do that. So this is a huge locker. There's plenty of space for it. The nice thing is that it's deep enough that the line just kind of falls into the locker. So it's very easy to feed it down into the locker itself. But yeah, this will work great.
After I confirmed that the line well would work, I glued in fiberglass the box into the boat.
I'm just using my Thixo Pro to glue in, do a nice fillet on the inside of this box. So the Thixo Pro is like really handy. It's just to make these nice fillets. I don't have to do any mixing. Just squirt it on and smooth it out.
Continuing with projects in preparation for painting the systems room, I needed to finish laminating the inside of the swim step and the back of the transom, which is something I've been avoiding for 2 years now. When I put this together a while back, it was super hot out and I wasn't excited about stuffing myself back there to get sticky with epoxy and sweat. So I hired Cormac to get it done. Working in that tiny, tiny space is not fun, and Cormac did a great job. The propeller shaft skeg is through-bolted into this area just after the main bulkhead. Normally, I would keep this in place, but we are planning on a larger propeller for the electric motor, which means that a new skeg needs to be installed more aft of this one. So I removed the nuts off the bronze bolts and then had to chisel away all the fairing off the skeg that faired it to the hull before I could hammer it off the boat.
Need some cheap dental work? Matt can remove a bad tooth in no time at all.
Who said it would be cheap? Some of you will remember that I cut out the old tracking foil from the middle of the cockpit a while back.
Look at that!
The hole that the cassette made is still in the bottom of the hull, so it's finally time to get this fixed.
For the past couple of days, I've been doing some very dirty work in the systems room. My goal here is to finish up all of the projects that have been lingering in the systems area, including line lockers and filling the hole that the emergency rudder took up, among a few other things. But most importantly, I want to get it painted.
It was a massive part which required a lot of grinding to get a majority of the old glass off.
Need some teeth cleaning? Matt can do that too.
I used a piece of cardboard to find the shape of the hole. And then cut out a couple pieces of Kusa board, which is a fiberglass reinforced foam that I had left over from some old projects. It'll make a nice core replacement for below the waterline. I used two 1/2 inch pieces that I laminated together. The whole core is about an inch thick here. And then I shoved them into the boat with a bunch of thickened epoxy. Finally, I glassed over the new core with 3 layers of 17-ounce fiberglass. Later down the line, I will absolutely be glassing over the outside of the hull as well.
It's exciting to see the systems room get finished and ready for painting. It's going to be so great to have all the systems, the generator, water maker, water heater, steering, etc., in a separate area from our living space.
Yeah, I am also excited. It's part of the philosophy of the boat when we first considered taking on this project, and that we wanted a long, fast boat, and so we wanted to keep the living space a bit smaller for a 60-foot boat and then have tons of other space for storage and systems. And it'll make, working on the systems a lot better because we're not stuffing them all into a small space. There'll be lots of room to maintain them and work and, be able to visualize everything and, like you said, keep it out of the living space so there's not as much noise, smells, all that stuff that comes with a system space. So, yeah, I'm also very excited. I think it'll be a really nice feature of the boat.
All right, in my effort to get the systems room painted, this was the next step, which was glassing over the old emergency rudder / tracking foil hole that was in the bottom of the boat. The boat is getting more watertight. One day, the boat will float.